Hey everybody, this is the Sliders Review, and I'm here today to talk to you about every Scream Ghostface killer's distinct way they talk to people on the phone. The phone call is a very important feature of Scream. It was make Scream scream. When other people try to copy it, it's just a huge ripoff. That's why all these newer slasher movies that came out after Scream try something different. I Know What You Did Last Summer did the little paper notes and stuff. And Scream is really the only one to utilize the phone call. However, now since phones have changed, now Ghostface, even though they still rely on the phone call, they like the text now, which begs the question, how in the world is Ghostface even able to text with those gloves on? It's pretty difficult. That's something people never really thought about. But that's not what this video is about. This video is about the very unique style and nature of the phone call itself. Every Ghostface is different. They're distinct and they have a quality that makes them them. Some try to copycat other people, they don't do it so successful, and others just come up with their own unique style, their own, spin on it and everything. And one of the things I love about Scream, other than people getting chased by Ghostface and everything, is the phone call. I always get excited for the phone calls. Some people's phone calls are better than others, and other ones are just kind of they could improve. Only because they really didn't know what to say. And it's quite unusual because I don't think no other YouTuber has ever mentioned the distinctiveness between the phone calls of the Ghostface and stuff, because they are quite different. But for the most part, phone calls aren't that frequent in the Scream movies. They will kind of start off a little bit and then they'll die down and then they'll start back up again. And it's just it's the phone call itself feels like a character within the own movie. Because once they put on that mask and they do the phone call and they use the voice changer, those killers really do become a brand new person and stuff. It's like their inner self coming out, or is them just trying to mimic somebody else. And so let's just start off with the original two Ghostface dudes, Stu and Billy. The ones who started it all. The two dudes who are obsessed with that horror movies decided to make their own and everything. One unique thing about their Ghostface during the phone call was how originally when Billy did it, or maybe it was Stu. I really don't know sometimes which killer was which when they was chasing people. But oh, it's raining. I just heard that now. Anyway, so not to get distracted, they were very cavalier originally and everything. They would literally talk to somebody like they're just a normal, regular person, and the person would always, for whatever reason, either mistake them for Randy or just some complete stranger. And they literally just had a conversation with the person originally, just chatting them up, seeing how they're doing, putting them at ease, putting them in a safe state of mind before the twist comes in and they realize they're talking to a deranged person. This is very smart on their part, to make the person feel as calm as possible and then really hit them with it and stuff, putting that shock and that fear into them. And then they start with the horror movie trivia. They just can't help but to live their life 24/7 in a horror movie. They are obsessed with it. That's all they can think about. So they start the trivia and then they start playing the games and everything. And when they will play the games, it was very horrifying. It's kind of like, will they live up to what they say if a person gets it wrong? And they do. And so, like, this was always one of the most unique takes on the phone calls, in my opinion. Scream 2 saw that of Mickey and that of Mrs. Loomis. There wasn't that many phone calls in this movie. In fact, the opening of the movie doesn't even start with a phone call. Normally, every Scream movie leads up into it and stuff. And so, Mickey, the thing about them is that they was copycats. They literally tried to be Billy and Stu. And Mickey did the whole thing like, the dudes in the first movie did. Just strike up a conversation. But this time when they struck it up, it was a slightly edgy, but not really. Because, I think what was his name, CC Cooper or whatever, she didn't realize who it was on the phone. And then, of course, when they do start to realize something crazy is going on, he starts to get kind of edgy. Like, one of his things is he loves to answer a question with a question. And he thinks he's so clever with it. Mrs. Loomis, on the other hand, is completely different. Mrs. Loomis really doesn't have a clue to what she's doing. She's just angry and everything. And she's trying her best, but it's not coming off like genuine and everything. Because she's not really into horror movies. And so she's just straight out for revenge. And so she's just kind of randomly saying things and it feels clumsy, and Randy could pick up on that. And then of course, when Randy pissed her off, she's all like, how would you like I thought, what was it? Like my knife cut through sheet of bone or something like that. Like, it was just like she was desperately trying. She was very desperate at it, and you can tell she just wasn't all that comfortable with it. Scream 3 is a bit of Scream 1, but something completely different. Once again, we have the cavalier phone call, normal, chill, whatever. Puts you in that ease and state of mind with Roman. But Roman did something that no other Ghostface has did. He had a completely different voice changer that could literally copy the voice pattern of a person and make it sound like them. Therefore, every phone call the person had, they literally thought they were talking to somebody that they knew. All except for Cotton Weary and everything. And then once he changes up to the regular Ghostface voice, then he becomes very aggressive and very angry and stuff. Like, he is desperately trying to find Sydney, and he'll do anything to find out who she is. This is one of the most unique takes on the Ghostface call, because you, the audience, are just like that character. You assume it is somebody completely different and stuff. Scream 4 took us back to the teenage years and everything. Copycats once again, but they're trying to reinvent, horror movies and stuff. They're angsty teens, and when they're on the phone with you, they sound like angsty teens. This is the most aggressive and rude Ghostface we've ever had. In fact, I believe this is the only time Ghostface has ever cussed at somebody. This was quite shocking to hear to the ears, because this Ghostface will get straight to the point and never really try to put you in the ease of mind. This Ghostface always wanted you to feel uncomfortable because they were just two teens getting a high off this and stuff. And it's one of my favorite voice calls in the genre, or actually the franchise, because of how edgy and aggressive and gritty they were when they did their phone calls. Like, you literally knew as soon as you picked up that phone, you were in trouble and stuff. Then you have Scream 5. You want to know something? Because I've been trying to block out Scream 5 so much in my head, I actually don't really remember how the phone calls were in that movie. I know they tried to copy Scream 1 because they were literal copycats again. And they was just too obsessed, horror freaks and everything. And so their phone calls really didn't sound all that interesting and stuff. I really don't even recall what they sounded like or what they even talked about. I really don't. That's how much I hate that movie. Then we get the Scream 6, which was very unique and interesting. There are a total of 4 Ghostface. There's one early in the movie, but then he gets killed. And then there are the 3 family members. I'll start off with the first dude. The first dude, he sounded like a dork. Only difference with him is he didn't use the voice changer at first. He used his normal, regular, cavalier type voice, which really put you at ease but made you feel uncomfortable at the same time because, you knew something was up because it's the phone call, but you really didn't know what because it was just a regular person's voice. And that was really clever, but really stupid because if she was to live, she'll be able to tell cops what he sounded like and stuff. But he made himself sound so innocent. That was very unique to the call until he changed up the Ghostface thing. And then you were terrified because you knew the girl was going to get it because he put her in a dark alley and everything. Now let's get to the family members. I really don't know who really called who. It's so hard to determine who's who. But one thing I've noticed about this Ghostface is once again it's very different with the phone call because the phone calls were a bit goofy in nature. This Ghostface wanted to have fun when he talked to you, which made me start to think it could have really been the brother or the sister mainly doing the phone calls because they was young and kind of angsty and everything. And it was weird that Ghostface was literally having fun with the victims and stuff. Like the whole hot and cold. Oh, you're ice cold. Oh, you're on fire. Like it was just the way like that Ghostface would say things. I'm just kind of like, is this a child? And then there's the whole phone call with Gail and everything. And once again, we got a very comedic kind of phone call to where he's all like, you shot me, you got me. All right, I'm heading to the elevator and blah, blah, blah. And then she's all like, and then Gail knew something was up. She's like, hold on a second. He's like, what? I'm just kind of like, wait, hold up. Ghostface is literally reacting in real time to somebody's like call. That was kind of odd. It was funny, but it was odd. But then this Ghostface, when they would get kind of tired and bored with you, like in the very first phone call, they pause and they talked kind of slow. Reminds me of how Quinn talks. She talks in a pause and very slow. And it was like, no. And then like, you're wrong. So it's kind of like, it sounded kind of like eerie in a way, like they was getting kind of frustrated. But Scream 6 phone call kind of reminded me of Scary Movie. So it is kind of interesting that all phone calls are very unique in nature. And it's something like it's really enjoyable to hear. Like it's a weird thing to say. Like you enjoy Ghostface phone call. All right, I need to go because it's raining really loud now. Alrighty, well I'll talk to y'all later. Bye.